crazy.
Why aren't you laughing?
All it takes is one bad day.
So if you're unaware, the Killing Joke graphic novel recently got made into an animated movie with Kevin Conroy, Tara Strong, and Mark Hamill all returning. And it's in theaters for a 2-night event, and if you missed it, you still got a chance tonight, I believe. And if you still miss it, it comes out on Blu-ray in like a week, so just be patient. Quick, no spoiler review, it's good, go see it, but there are some big changes from the original graphic novel, so if you were looking for a straight comic-to-screen adaptation, it's not quite that. There's a lot of added stuff, including one particularly controversial thing that I will talk about here. Time for spoilers. I really like Batgirl's narration at the beginning. I think it's very mature, and despite the some of the puns, because it's, you know, it kind of calls back to the 90s cartoons, and so a lot of the villains are very like, oh, look at me, I'm in a cartoon. A lot of the small villains anyway. We'll talk about Mark Hamill in a second. But Tara Strong's voice acting was very mature and very, like, high quality for supposedly a cartoon. Kevin Conroy is fantastic as always, and so is Mark Hamill. If you see it in theaters, they wrap a documentary around the movie, so there's a big thing at the beginning and a big thing at the end. And there's like a giant prologue from Mark Hamill, and then there's a lot of footage of him just like talking into the microphone as Joker, and I could watch that all day because he's like getting his face and his hands are moving. In this version of The Killing Joke, Batgirl's definitely the main character. If she has most of the screen time, and Batman is like someone she deals with, rather than it being about Batman. I like her a lot. I like her voice. She's redhead, which means like automatic attractiveness. That'll also come into play in a second. The two big downsides to The Killing Joke are the animation quality. It looks kind of dated for 2016. You could say they're trying to do callbacks to the 90s cartoon, but I think that's just an excuse for kind of undetailed, low-quality animation. It was in full HD, obviously. Like, the edges around everything were nice and crisp, but some people's faces had like a line for the mouth and eyes, and that was it. And there was one type of shading, maybe max. Also, Batman's costume, I could not stand Batman's costume. His ears are like out to the side like this, and his mouth, he's got weird lines around his mouth. It's not the best incarnation of Batman. Visually, anyway. It's still Kevin Conroy as Batman, and it's like the realest Batman we'll ever get. Also, the villain for the first half was terrible. In a movie where we also have the Joker, it's like, what a waste of time, get to the Joker. So the big thing in The Killing Joke is that Batman and Batgirl have sex, and that was super, super weird at first. And I knew about it immediately before seeing the movie. I'm like, oh no, that's gonna ruin it. And it was definitely weird, it was definitely a little out of nowhere, but the more I think about it, the more I like it, and I'll tell you why. This is a younger incarnation of Batman, so he was like 30s, and then Batgirl is clearly fully into adulthood, so she's 20s, so we're outside of the realms of pedophilia, which is nice. And the whole point of it is that it's supposed to be weird. It kind of ruined their relationship. She was clearly not ready for that, and she couldn't be Batgirl after that anymore, and she was talking about it with her little gay friend in the library, who's actually great, by the way. I liked a gay character. Right? But Batgirl and her sexiness is like kind of a big theme in this movie. Even the camera kind of like lingers on her, and maybe I'm just making an excuse for kind of a pervy shot, but that's the point. Batman kind of tells her, he's like, Barbara, you're supposed to scare criminals, not turn them on. It's like the whole idea of Batgirl kind of doesn't work. And I think it's a great moral lesson that everyone should learn. Look how destructive sex is if you don't use it properly. Now, while the animation quality itself is kind of low in movement, there are a couple stills that are like pulled straight from the comics, and they look fantastic. The music too, it's all about the dead space and knowing where to not have music to make the scene stand out. But it's a very string heavy and eerie, kind of horror noir kind of score. And when Barbara and her dad were in the apartment together, and I'm like, oh, I know it's coming, my heart was thumping that whole scene up until the doorbell. And that shot is scary as hell. And especially at the end of the little Joker origin story, just that one too, it's completely silent, there's no music, and it just shows him laughing, and there's no dialogue, it's nothing. It's just, the fact that it happens is a colossally huge deal, because it's the creation of the greatest villain of all time. And yes, Mark Hamill will always be the one true Joker. You know how I like to quote people and do impressions in my reviews? If I listed every line the Joker had said that was good, I would be here all day. Prove a point. is to crime. The ending is completely perfect. It's completely devoid of music, and it's like the first real conversation Batman and Joker had, because there's this theme is like, I don't know who he is, and he doesn't know who I am. How can two people who don't even know each other hate each other so much over such a long period of time? And there's all this foreshadowing throwing around, like one of us is gonna kill the other. This cycle cannot continue forever. He extends one last chance to the Joker. He's like, let me rehabilitate you, let me help you. It's like, he knows if the Joker says no, I have to kill him. And you'll notice the Joker, he doesn't say, hell no, I'm never working with you. He doesn't try to attack Batman. He stands up and says, sorry, but no. For the Joker to be that serious and like real in a conversation was just nuts. And for the people who freak out and say, well then the Joker won because he finally got Batman to kill him. This isn't the Dark Knight. This is the animated series. It's not about Joker made Batman snap and he killed him out of anger. It's not that. Batman came to the rational conclusion that killing the Joker was what had to be done. It's not like he's going around shooting people left and right and will rule the world atop Superman's dead corpse. And then you see Batman like full on laughing and he like reaches for the Joker and it's just, they're both laughing, they're both laughing, they're both laughing, the camera pans away, Batman's the only one laughing, and then it's just Batman the Killing Joke with the patter of rain, no music, no nothing. It was flawlessly done. So yeah, it's not perfect, but it is finally a full big screen adaptation of perhaps one of the best Batman comic arcs ever, so you kind of have to see it if you're a Batman fan. Thank you for watching. I'm Wesley Tomsky. Goodbye, God bless. 8 out of 10.